All right, team, we're back Friday morning. Let's close this week out strong. Okay, not expecting too much today, given how big and how great that move was yesterday. And we've got lots and lots and lots of Fed talk today. We've hit all our weekly targets, really. This market's done exactly what we wanted to see for the week yesterday. So now it's really just a question of, do we have an inside bar or do we have continuation? And only thing that is going to tell us that we'll be sitting here and waiting to see, because so far we had that liquidation event overnight, or say overnight into the close. They washed out all those late buyers into the close, and then we've just sort of rallied up or gently drifted up back to their point this morning during London and Asia. Okay, so let's get into the daily charts. We'll go through everything as always and go from there. All right, daily chart. You can see here, yellow line, 200-day SMA. That was the target. Why was it the target? Because we've rotated from lower bull to 5-day to 20-day to 5-day, 5-day, 20-day cross to 50-day, 200-day. This is a very, very usual thing. Now, we might fail here. We might peak above and go for a failure here. Why would I think that? It's very common if we're going to get any continuation downside that a rally would be for a 200-day retest. We can think about it. Last time we were in bearish market conditions, we would have seen something very similar right here. Okay, when's this? August or March 2022. This point here, April. Not too far away from here. So you can see 200-day, nice big move. Under we go, back test, stay heavy. Under we go, back test, stay heavy. Under we go, back test, stay heavy. Under we go, back test, finally pop through and break. All right, so we would have to wait for a breakout retest really to have confirmation of a bigger bull run for the rest of the year. All right, so you can see how key this 200-day is. So if we're going to do that, then the Bollinger Band is going to continue, all right, to open upwards, and this is going to happen, and the 5-day is going to do this, and we're going to get through. We're going to come and back test this area here, and then we're going to continue higher for the rest of the year. If we don't do that, then we can simply drive through, sweep this liquidity, think about a 61 fib from here to here, and roll down, or maybe just back test some of this level. All right, so I'm very, very aware of that because my target for this week was the 200-day moving average, which we've hit. What else do we need to be aware of? That blue line is an anchor view up off the all-time high. Right, so that's average price of sellers off the all-time high. So really that 200-day and that blue line, 360s, and the top side of this liquidity 537. That's sort of max level that this can drift up to if it's really going to continue. Right, but you can see as we go into an hourly chart that that liquidation event in the close yesterday was fairly telling. All right, we had that big drive up. This is where we got long yesterday. Big drive up to 200-day. We based out. It had the chance to do this, but it failed to do it. It never reclaimed that 200-day. We could not get a close back over that 200-day. And you can see the volume built up here. This, for me, is supply. This is trapped buyers up here right now. And then at the end of the day, once they break these lows, these buyers give up, and we get a liquidation event. Now, this can still be a higher low. I want to really point this out. This is where it gets a little tricky. All right, from this failed breakdown here, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. This can still be a higher low here as long as we don't take out this blue box, and we can go higher. It's very possible still. It's also very possible that we just need to calm down for a minute. All right, after a big, big move, if this just wants to sit in like a D-shaped profile here and do this all day, all right, it can absolutely do it. If it wants to do a failed breakout of the low and come inside, it can do it. If it wants to do a failed breakout up here and come inside, it can do it. It can absolutely create a balanced range inside here, inside yesterday's value area high, value area low. Very, very, very aware of that. If we're going to be bullish, it will prove itself to you. It will complete this move. It will base out up here, and then it will give you that leg up. So I will want to wait. I want to see it reclaim these areas for me to really think about being bullish. All right, I want to reclaim it. It can just as easily do what it's done on this candle here, which is come back into this area where we know these buyers are trapped and sell. If it's going to sell, where can it sell down to? Well, let's sneeze here in a second. Now I've called it. Is it going to go away? Either it's going to sell, maybe it comes back down, test the bottom side of this range, value area low from yesterday right here. Maybe it comes down to Globex lows. Both of those possible. That would be a scalp trade. Well, if you're going to take that trade, remember you're playing inside range, so that's a range rotation trade. You do not want to be adding too much size into that. You don't want to be expecting miracles. It's just an inside range rotation day. Same if it comes down here and sweeps and turns inside, or down here to value area low and turns inside. It's a scalp trade. Again, you're inside previous day's action, so you have to expect choppy action in here. The easier trade will come if we get outside for that move or outside for a fail. The easier trade downside will be the same thing if we come outside back test and want to go lower, maybe clean up yesterday. Remember, we left liquidity down here yesterday. S&P and Qs did not close their gap, just as a reminder. So this Globex low is basically gap fill close from yesterday into, I don't know what you call that, like 60s or 70s. I have to have a look in the daily. So that's what I'm looking at. When we look at the TPOs, yesterday was actually quite bullish in TPO. There's your P shape, and we are opening based on time above point of control, not based on volume. Point of control and volume's up here. So if we can do this, then we get continuation. We've got to respect that supply above us right now. We have to respect it. Moving to here, we can see this news candle. I'm assuming that's some Fed talk or something. That's not very pretty. So we need to be very aware of the liquidity each side of that. We did come down, test value area low, and trade back upside. Do we steal this liquidity and use it to do that, or do we do this? No idea. I'm going to be very patient. Like I said, we've hit our targets for the week. The low-hanging fruit trades for the week have gone. We've hit everything we wanted to hit yesterday. That's why it was such a good day. It did it in one nice move. So we want to be cautious here as we trade through this session. Let's have a little look at the mag. Okay, Apple gapping up over PDC. You can see it's got some clear resistance ahead. All right, so Apple into 99s and 200s will be key. Same thing here for Microsoft. I know these all look really bearish because you're looking at that thinking it can reject, but we also have to respect this. This is why it's going to be tricky. Yes, it can reject that. Yes, it can hold this. Yes, it can reclaim that and go. So not being early today is going to be key. Amazon trying to base out, same kind of move. You can see it's trying to hold yesterday's pivot for that drive up, a little bit of a gap up. Goog gapping down, that remains weak after that big sell-off. We said yesterday this pivot here on Goog was going to be key. Or is it going to give it to me? This right here, 57s, still stuck there, still hasn't reclaimed that. So just basic RNS, isn't it? All right. That there is key. If Goog can reclaim that there, then it opens itself up for this move. All the time that stays heavy, it can come back down for a retest and then go lower. All right, so be cautious if you are trading Goog right now. Meta gapping up. Same kind of thing as the market coming into overhead supply where those buyers got trapped yesterday. You can see clear rejection of it. We reclaim that and build, maybe go higher. We come in and fail, maybe rotation. Same as the market. Both things possible today. We're inside bar day. Nvidia, well, that just looks ugly, doesn't it? Someone's going to get hurt here. Either this or this. All right, so higher highs and, higher lows and lower highs. Not what you want to see when you're a trend trader. You can afford to wait and let that break out. Tesla looks good. We said that the other day. Tesla in recovery mode. You can see it's got a clear target where it wants to go right now. 95s. All right, wants to do this move here and that. So that's your market. That's you set up on the market. Let's have a quick look at the VIX. Just basing right now in 22s. Get back to NQM. There we go. And let's get this full screen. Might have seen some more lines on my chart today. It's just because I'm interested in those areas from yesterday because they're not all lining up. All right, the VIX Starting to base out here at 22s. All right, a break below previous day low, 21.88, will give the market the impetus to move higher. I would say a break above 22 sort of 80s. Why is that not changing? A break above 22.80s will be a problem for this market, and we're going to a more of a rotational day. But I would be fairly risk off today, folks. You are just going to have to be very, very, very patient and let this build out. I'm not really thinking about longs unless it really builds that right shoulder. It's going to have to build a lot of liquidity up there for me to be interested, or a very, very, very obvious breakout to the upside that I can join in on a retest through previous day high. Otherwise, not too keen on taking longs, and I'm also very cautious about taking shorts up into that supply if we're just accelerating up there. It's going to have to be very, very, very obvious. All right, let's see who's in chat, and we'll catch up with everything. John Dennis, thank you very much for that, paying for my lunch on a Friday. Appreciate it, folks. Good morning, Clint. Let's move this over. Morning, Clint, Jesse, Vince, Zeus, Christy, Chris Thorne, Ramus, Peter, Abe, Willa, Aaron, Toby, Marek, Leron, Thumper, Jeff, Scott, Sullivan, Juan Carlos, Mike, DK, Myron, Raphael, Indicator, Ash, Trentry, Brad, Lucan, Brandon, Eva, Array, TR, Phenom, Mindful Matters, Lucas, Raphael Garcia, Paul G. I've lost everyone now. Lucas, Richard, good morning. Past Apex evaluation on NinjaTrader. My screen's locked up and it was up 1,800 before I could get out of the trade. I was already at 1,300. Hey, lovely. Always nice when you've passed when something like that happens. Ken, Peter, Minix, MC Rod, Myron, Tyson, Magnus, and Gus. Lucas, what do I mean by an inside bar? Inside bar is when you're inside the previous bar's action. Okay, so if we think about a daily right now, what are the extremes of yesterday? There's yesterday's low, there's yesterday's high. So we're pinned inside. Until you get outside of this, no one from yesterday is truly in pain. Why was the previous day so good? Well, what did we do? Wednesday, we went outside of Tuesday and returned upside and went outside of Tuesday. Thursday, we based above and we went outside of Wednesday for that drive up and outside of the week, this balanced range on the week. All right, so we were abusing. This was why Wednesday was key. Failed breakdown of this balanced range. This was the range. So once we do one side, once this day here gets above here, we know we're going up here. This now is just inside Thursday's range, right? Understanding the difference between inside bars and outside bars is key. It's the same thing, by the way, on every time frame, right? So understanding that principle is the same. If you have inside, think about what a flag is. What have I just done there? Think about what a flag is. All right, if you have this action here, all right, forget this wick. This action here. Inside, 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 inside. Breakout, outside. All right, everyone here gets wrecked. Yeah? Because you got shorts. Add, 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 add. We get outside, they stop out. Now you've got longs in, let's say, like this kind of range. Trying to get the continuation. Longs, add, 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 add. We break down, liquidated. It's the same thing, same principle all the time. It's just support and resistance, but understanding on higher time frames is key. Okay, got 90 seconds here. I'm going to grab myself a tissue before I sneeze all over the screen. Here we go then, folks. Let's see what we get at the open. Let's sort this screen out a second. And opening in 30 seconds here. Yeah, very, very simple. Raphael, these are my flow zones. These are all come with the course. Right, everything you see here is custom. It's all mine. All right, so patience at this open, I think this morning is going to be key, folks. We've got supply overhead from those trap buyers from yesterday. We've got potential demand underneath. We've got a value area. I'm just going to move this down so you can see it slightly. Value area low down here. Market generally should want to bid up, but again, we've got supply overhead. Here comes the opening print. Let's have a look at what we've got on the mag. All the mag open up green. Tesla the greenest. The greenest. All right, and here we go. Remember, we've got Fed talk all day long here, folks. All day long. Morning, Slash. All right, nice squeeze up at the open. Remember, supply up overhead. Would not be surprised to see them come in and try and slap that down. If we start reclaiming those key levels, we can think about long continuation. If we're going to reject those key levels, we're going to probably just have a rotational day where we move from one side to the other until enough people are stuck. It would not surprise me to see today just rotate all day long and wait for next week. Would not surprise me at all. We've done the main move. The only thing left would be really SPY and ES did not hit that 200-day moving average. Right, we did on everything else, but SPY did not. I'm on the wrong chart here. There we go. Let's get this New York open in before I forget. This guy right here. And let's get a little anchor. So we've got the New York anchor in. And that will start printing when it's ready. Okay, so right now, just sort of basing around Globex. If it's going to hold Globex, Globex is basically the New York Open, folks. Don't need to put another line in there this morning. If we hold that, maybe we try and create or complete that right shoulder at the highs. If we keep rejecting just above the previous week high and around where we've just rejected this morning is where supply is for that rotation back down, maybe into previous day close, maybe into Globex. I really don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. Eon, orb is one of the strategies that I teach, 15-minute orb, but it's not the only strategy. That strategy only works after 15 minutes. You've got a whole trading day ahead of you. So we trade trend, we trade reversals, we trade supply and demand, we trade initial balance. Mainly continuation trades are what I like to look for. Pro trend continuation trades. Those are where the money is made in the market, just like yesterday. Okay, it's trying to get a squeeze up here into that supply, into previous week high. There are buyers on the tape down below at 225. There's an 80 lot down there. Up above, really you're looking at 300 and 350s. That's where the only guys on the tape are. There's very thin action this morning, as expected. So being patient, you're going to have to be patient today. It might be a no trade day, folks. Just be aware of that. We had a great trading session yesterday. Not every day is going to provide a great trading session. You can see that horrible news candle at, I don't know, 725 or whatever it is. Really, the extremes of that or just after it are 140 up to 288. So maybe it wants to try and come and abuse that. I don't know. Tesla off to a bit of a flyer here, 4% up. What are we doing here, market? Taking a breather by the looks of it. 32-point range so far this morning, first 4 minutes. Feels like a normal day again. Yeah, I mean, Lucas, it's one of those things like maybe we set up, but you got to think all today we're packed full of Fed talkers. Packed full of Fed talkers. And we've hit our weekly target. Unless the SPY wants to get going today and go for 200 day. QQQ and NQ, like we traded up yesterday, hit our weekly target. Remember, our whole aim yesterday was to get up into this orange. So we took this long from here all the way up into this orange dotted line, the 200-day moving average. And once we did that, we kind of, I didn't take another trade for the rest of the day because I didn't know if it would want any more. Now, if it wants to go to 500 today, yes, we can join in, but it's going to have to really prove, because it's going to have to get through all that supply that it's already created yesterday. It's going to have to get through all that supply that's overhead right now. So it's already trying here to extend up to that previous week high, which would be 76s. So QQQ into the 200-day moving average right here, right now. VIX down at 22, still holding 22s. Remember, we want to see VIX break 2180s, really. So here is the test back into previous week high here. Now, does it find sellers up here? That guy that was at 280 just lifted. Buyer come on the book at 250. He's looking for a dip down to 250. Let's see if they pull it down there and absorb it, or let's see if he spoofs it. So it feels like it wants to test that previous week high right now, which is sort of 76s. Remember, buyer at 50 on the book. Let's see if he's legit or not. There is potential today for that drift into 500, but they're going to have to get through everything that we created yesterday. All that supply we created yesterday, they're going to have to absolutely chomp through it, aren't they? It's not going to happen easily. No, they're trying to get up to that previous week high, 76s, I keep saying. That's where they're trying to get right now. Maybe to take out that Newsweek high, if it can get up there. So dips are being absorbed right now. Here's that attempt for the move into previous week high, 76s. It's just fallen short of it. You can mark that on chart if you want. Again, not looking for anything yet. I just want to see how we're going to act. Do we get through previous week high? Do we get through, 90 and 300? And do we base? Are we able to base in that supply? Or are we coming up here just to find a seller absolutely smash us back down? Is that same seller from yesterday present? Or are we going for that bigger move upside today? VIX still at 22s. Starting to fade though. Previous week high here. 76s. All right, so are we going to reclaim that and reclaim the 300s? I'd rather join late today on a breakout and retest to just make sure that I'm the right side of it if I'm going to join. Don't want to join into supply and get hammered. A bit of jostling on the book. You can see a buyer sort of moving his order up, not getting filled. So that lot that was at 50 moved to 55, moved to 60, has spread it out, put some back at 45 now. He's messing about a little bit. We're only 8 minutes in, remember. Plenty of time. So just shy of that previous week high, which we're about to tap into right now. 76.25. 76.25 is previous week high. If we get through that, I'd imagine we'd run those stops on that Newsweek high at 89. That's probably where it wants to go if it gets through. But we are in supply, that red box. You can see we're in supply. Here's this little squeeze. Here's previous week high. No sellers on the tape until we get to 90 right now. So it's trying to squeeze up towards 90 at the moment. You are in supply here. So sweat previous week high, finding some sellers there for now. No one, that's a market order that came in there on the book. No one really passive until 90. So far rejecting supply. And then they find a bid to get back through. Are they looking to fill this guy at 90 and 300s? 90 will be, yeah, pretty much top of that Newsweek high. This right here, this guy right here. All right, but so far supply holding up the red box. You can see it holding up and back down towards New York VWAP we go. Like I said, expecting a choppy day. We are inside, not expecting any good action unless we get outside or prove ourselves. VIX finding a bid there off 22s as well. Some stronger selling coming in on that last candle. There's a 109 lot here at 50. He's looking to get filled. He's just been filled. And how far down do they let this drift now? Maybe all the way back to VWAP. Who knows? The green VWAP I'm talking about. Back down towards New York Open and Globex. So we're rejecting supply. That's a fairly strong signal of supply so far, but we're still in bullish order flow. Said I'm not expecting miracles today. I'm expecting this to be a tough market today. What's HVN? I don't know what HVN is. High volume node? Yeah, I mean, it would be like it's supply because it's where buyers are trapped. So yeah, it probably would match up with a higher volume node. I'm guessing that's what HVN is. Okay, back down towards the New York Open. Market still holding on. Tesla almost 5% up now. Very, very strong. They're trying to absorb these deep flow zone pullbacks. Are they going to have another attempt to get through previous week high, or do they sell this on that next drive up? VIX trying to find a bid here. Again, not in anything. I'm not really interested in anything right now. I think this is messy, messy, messy action. Can afford to just let this build out. You've got 3 minutes left until the orb. Tesla approaching 5%. Very, very, very strong here on Tesla. It probably wants to go for that 300 check by the looks of it. Still above that New York Open. Market participants coming in here trying to cause a little bit of a squeeze. That 50 seems key, that 50 level over under right now. Remember, we are gapping up, so if they want to go for a gap fill, they can. Right now, we're in a gap and go. Stream seems fine my end, Michael, but let me know if there's an issue. Maybe the rest of the team can let you know, but seems fine. Might be your internet, my friend. So rejecting a supply, still basing out, holding up above lower time frame algo. VIX trying to get going here. And the chop will continue until enough people are trapped. It might continue all day, like we said. I'm not expecting miracles today, folks. Really not. Tesla now 5.17% up. This thing's flying. It's going for that 300 test, I'm telling you. Tesla's almost there. It wants that 300 test. If it gets through that, it's a big, big level. Google gone red on the day, so Google rejecting that level that we talked about pre-market. Rest of the market sort of holding on. Nvidia 0.25% up, Meta just under 1%, Amazon just under 1% up, Microsoft 0.10% up, Apple 0.5% up. So are they going to sell this all the way back down now? This is the question. Is this the trap? Or are they going back to VWAP, lower time frame algo? We're just doing a dance here. Not a very nice area right now to be thinking about doing much in. Richard, what's previous day's close on settlement? There's your gap. Previous day close on settlement is 148. So we have gapped up, haven't we? Where's New York open versus previous day close on settlement? Settlement is 4 o'clock. Remember, when I'm looking at a gap, I'm looking at settlement. Unlike other traders who might be showing you, where we close at 5 o'clock, I care about settlement. Why do I care about that? Like we talk about in the course, cash. I care about cash. Right, down to the bottom side now, your orb is now set. All right, so do we get a breakdown in this orb to drive lower towards previous week close, towards VWAP, etc., etc.? Morning, darling. So here's your orb, testing the lower side of the orb. ES is coming right into VWAP already. All right, so it might find a bid here, which is trying to. SPY back to its VWAP. Let's see if it rejects this. It traded under it. It's trading back to it. Let's see if sellers come in here. ES is over its VWAP. So you're doing the VWAP dance like we talk about between the cash, the ETFs, and the futures right now. They're doing the dance. Yeah, Gus, the ATR will be lower today while we are in an inside bar, unless Fed talk starts saying something that really moves it. Right, we get volatility comes in when we come outside, when we start running higher time frame stops. So far, SPY rejecting its VWAP, but let's see. Just in the middle of the orb right now, protecting the lower side of the orb. SPY back to VWAP again here. Tesla really wants to go and test that 300. Hasn't quite been able to get there yet. Yes, protecting its VWAP, protecting the lower time frame moving average. We're doing the same here. This lower time frame moving average back towards New York VWAP again. Messy, messy, messy for here, folks. Nothing to do here. Get better at sitting in your hands, waiting. We're going to break down. It's going to be obvious, right? We're going to break down. It will be obvious. Just feels like Tesla wants to try and get up there and is struggling to go for that 300 test. Still inside your opening range right now. Nothing more than that. Right back to Globex. Holding Globex right now. The London high. Absorbed off London high there. Absorbed in front of New York open. Yes, still on top of its VWAP right now. Still baiting above it. SPY not through it yet. QQQ is above it also. QQQ cannot get a base above the 200-day moving average so far this morning. It's one thing I probably should have done. Let's just check that level for the 200 now. Might have moved slightly. 19s, so I've probably got to move this up to there. There we go. All right, stuck at our New York VWAP. Still inside the orb. So bear flag or trap, one or the other, versus the orb low. SPY holding its VWAP. QQQ above its VWAP comfortably. SPY trying to get above, trying to hold its VWAP here. If it does, that squeeze back to the upside is potentially on. But again, this is messy, folks. Look at the flow zones. They're all flat. Look at VWAP pointing flat. Everything's flat right now. Don't need to force your way in. You should have had a fantastic day yesterday, right? Not every day is going to be the same. So if you had a massive day yesterday, if today doesn't offer you a good trade, you don't need to trade, do you? You made all your money. You probably made enough money yesterday if you traded it well for a week plus, you know? This SPY VWAP is absolutely key here. You cannot get over it. It cannot get over it right now. There are sellers on the tape, but they're up higher right now. 270, 290 is where the sellers are. Don't see anything else. So tape feels very passive this morning. Volume a little bit muted as well. Still holding New York Open, still holding London High. Back down towards the lows. Do they start breaking these now? Is there momentum downside or not? So far this morning, there's been no momentum. ES still above its VWAP. Okay, you can have to be careful here. They can absorb straight off VWAP if they want. If buyers want to take control, that might be where they're hanging out. So I'm not looking to join anything early today. Like I said, I want to be late today, not early. I think trading early today probably gets you stuck. SPY still stuck at its VWAP. Cannot get through it. It's under its 5-minute flow zones. It cannot get through it. It's just doing a dance here. There's no downside momentum coming in for that bigger drive lower. Like, no one's coming in and hammering this market. Tests are now over 300, by the way. Here's your opening range low. Do they break this for that downside move to VWAP? Are sellers present in here, or do they just absorb it and go straight back up with a failed breakout? There is the flush move. Are we going VWAP now? ES into VWAP, finding a bid there at VWAP. So no closure underneath. What's VIX doing? There's the follow through. Here's VWAP on the Qs. Do we have follow through downside? If we're going to get follow through downside, we can think about gap fill potentially. If we're going to get follow through downside, but want to be very careful here. So a small piece on versus the orb here, but I'm not too keen on this as we hold VWAP. So tiny piece on because I expect to get squeezed out versus the orb. So playing that orb break, just waiting here. ES trying to reclaim. If we rebuild structure and start rejecting 220s and start getting underneath VWAP, then I think maybe we get that rotation for a gap fill. This is what I'm saying. I'm expecting to get squeezed out, which is why I'm playing a little micro guy here, and that's it. But if we reject this, then maybe we go for a gap fill. I want to be very careful of the trap here versus that opening range. Microsoft going red, Google going red. Tesla back under 300. So got above it, peaked above, find some sellers there. We just retested that orb. Feels a bit shaky, this to me. Yes, holding VWAP. Don't want to see that. I want to see VIX get going here. I'm not going to put any more size into this unless it really proves. Don't like that on the ES. Good hold of VWAP there. VIX not breaking out yet. about to cut this at a break even. Didn't lock anything in. VIX needs to get through 2230s. Cutting break even there on the orb. Back towards New York Open. There you go. Reclaiming. So far trapping. Still in a downtrend, but so far trapping. This is the type of thing I expect today. See money, take money. I probably didn't take money, but how many points would I have got? Barely 15. Not even worth it. So good hold on ES on that VU up. That's what we were talking about. SPY now trying to hold as well. Can they cause a trigger a squeeze back up to previous week high here? Tesla reclaiming. Failed breakout of the orb. Back into flow zones here. If we start reclaiming this New York VU up, there is a potential to go upside. Until then, we're still technically in a downtrend. You can see down, 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 down. If we start rebuilding this, we go up, probably back towards the high of day. So I would say that 50s are absolutely key there, 2250. Books cleaned out above. I don't like seeing this game that they keep playing. Look above 50s now. No orders until we get to 90. It's literally just a pocket of air. I don't know why they keep doing that this week, but they have been. All week long, there have been major, major pockets left in the tape. 700s here on the ES. SPY reclaiming, QQQ reclaiming. Technically still in downtrend here until it proves otherwise. In the lower time frame in the New York session I'm talking about, not in the higher time frame, obviously. Bit of a chop fest, this. Yes, left 3 highs there now at 702. So that 700 is absolutely key on ES. Not finding a bid above it so far. SPY back beneath view up again. This thing cannot make its mind up. VIX down towards low of day. That's divergence there between the two. Not what you want to see. That's just adding to my thesis that this is going to be a crap day. What's going on with Financial Juice? Their Twitter, like, not reposting at the moment. What's going on here? Bizarre. Fed Williams now just stopped talking. Tesla on an absolute tear right now, folks. 302s now. This thing's motoring. So we're starting to pivot here. Maybe we're going to go back for that high of day push now. $303s now on Tesla, 6.5% up. This thing is absolutely flying. Tesla driving this market right now. Are we going to go on a monster squeeze now? Starting to push into this. 50's key. ES is going to have to base above 700s. Come on, market, get going if you're going to go. 60s. Want any pullback here to hold into 45s and 50s, basically. That old resistance right here, we're going to have to turn that into support if we're going to look for that upside move. Want to be very careful if it can't hold it. Tesla's the only one having a big day here, by the way. Everything else is fairly placid. So you want to be careful with that stock. If it's the one driving the market, you want to be careful. You know how volatile that is. And look at VIX breaking down underneath low of day, coming down tomorrow's previous day low without the ES driving to highs. Definite divergence here, folks. You are seeing divergence. We should be at highs right now on the ES. We should be up near previous day high, and we're not. So something to note here on the ES and the SPY. Something will give soon. So these 50s and 45s need to hold here. If they don't hold, you get a flashecito all the way back down towards the lows. But if they hold this and they build out a base, it's got a chance to move back up to the opening range high, previous week high. And if we can get going through those, we can chomp up that supply above, and the final target would be previous day high. And above that would be 500 if it decided for some bizarre reason that today it was going to go on a monster squeezer and that SPY wanted the 200-day moving average. That's where it would go. But you're just in the middle of the opening range right now. We have held that dip into the 50s and 40s. If they build out this right shoulder, then I think there's potential for us to squeeze up to the opening range high up to the 80s. VIX still trading down. VIX coming into previous day low here. This market should be going upside right now. A bit concerned that it isn't. Here goes the ES trying to have a go now towards that high of day. It's trying to build that right shoulder out like we talked about. If 40s and 50s hold, it's got a chance to do it. So these are not easy trades, folks. This is like a see money, take money environment right now. You are in a volatile environment. VIX previous day low here. Be very careful. VIX needs to break previous day low. That would take us up to these highs. I'm in this long, looking for continuation, but I'm being very, very aggressive with my stops here. Tapping on previous day right now on the VIX. It's found a little bit of a bid here. This market needs to be going upside. The VIX needs to be dying right here. If we don't see that, I'm out. This is all Tesla doing this drive. Here we go. Can we break this level to get us up to the previous week high in that top side of the range? 76s and 80s. See that buy signal coming. Need to be careful because everything is flat. View up is flat. Flow zones are flat. This needs to hold for this move. QQQ on its 200-day moving average here. The ETF 200-day moving average right here. VIX still not under previous day low yet. Still look good, but it is concerning if it can't break previous day low. And we're in the middle of a range, it's always a bit concerning. Tesla now approaching 305s. I want to see the rest of the market get involved here rather than do nothing. Can't move up based on one stock. 200-day going to be key here on the QQQ. Still just inside the orb. We're not outside the highs yet. Still inside. VIX not breaking that previous day low. It's got me slightly concerned here about trying to hold on for any more. I feel like a squeeze should come and it's not. So need to be careful. QQQ cannot get through its 200-day moving average right now. It's the second time we've approached it and rejected. I want to be very, very cautious. Again, this can't hold 40s and 50s. You cannot hold it. This can go all the way back down to low of day. Very sharp, especially if Tesla starts giving up. 304s here on Tesla. I think it wants 305s. This is what I'm talking about. This is where you have to be careful. See money, take money environment. If they don't hold these dips into 40s and 50s, it is game over. Especially if VIX does not break previous day low, if they keep absorbing that. QQQ cannot get through that 200-day. Absolutely key there on QQQ, and it can't do it right now. Still holding, but probably going to end up taking a scratch here if it breaks down. We get lucky, we get that squeeze up to the opening range high and through that. VIX now starting to get under previous day low. How we act here is going to be key. And can the ES participate for that join in? Need Microsoft and Google to actually join in because they are almost flat on the day. And that's not a good look for this market. Cannot rely all on Tesla. Tesla now 305.60s. So don't like this very much. And expecting chop today. Here we go. Here's the chop. So knock me out there. Another break-even trade. There's 2 break-even trades on the day now. All the way back down. So that 200-day moving average on QQQ. Can get through it. Back to view up on the Qs. Back to view up on the SPYs. Let go of this. And look at VIX after it took PDL. That's like a major problem. VIX takes PDL and we're nowhere near PDH on the ES. That for me is always a bit of a sign there. And Microsoft and Google cannot get going today. They're green, but barely. Do I have one more attempt at that? This is the question. Do I have another go at this now? Is that the trap set? Have I just taken a break even versus New York Open, and is it going to now do the move? VIX rejecting there now. Oh, it's too late. I can't be chasing this in now. I've got to wait. I got to wait. It's all right. 2 break evens. I had a go at this. This was the move I wanted. 30s and 40s I wanted to hold. We came down to, 40s and 50s I wanted to hold. We came down to 30s. Took my break even. Stopped. Spiders holding the view up here. It feels like it wants to squeeze. It really, really wants to squeeze and take out this previous week high and orb high here. It wants to do it, doesn't it? It's going to do it without me, though. ES looking better now as well. Oh, now Goog's starting to participate. Oh, Alex. This is trading, folks. Not always easy. It's not always beautiful like yesterday. Right idea, wrong execution. We're going to come up here and test point of control, I think. If we can get through opening range high, which is 80, and then we get through 88s, we should go on a bit of a face ripper here. VIX now really fading underneath that previous day low. Yeah, it could be, Peter. It's just, it's a chase now for me. We're 40 points higher than that last dip down. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Still inside that opening range. It's all right. It's all right. No damage done. Break evens is what it is. QQQ, right, that 200-day. That's where we keep getting stucking. We keep getting stuck on the Qs. It's trading just between VWAP and 200-day on the Qs. We need to get acceptance over the 200-day on the QQQ for this market to have any chance of moving higher. Remember, 200-day, absolutely key level. I'm not being hard on myself, Lucas. Like, I'm never hard on myself. It's just, I find it funny. More than anything, you know, you stop out, you have a couple good, well, you think it's a good attempt, you take the wash, you get stopped out, and then it goes. Then I haven't had a chance to get a partial off. It wants to go. I can feel this wants to go. This market wants to go. The Qs want to get through that level. They want to get through the 200-day. They're trying to get through the 200-day. VIX now starting to break down. If we get follow through on the VIX, if ES is going to participate higher, we should be squeezing. Unless some market seller comes in here and slaps it, we should be squeezing 80 and 90s on the book for an upside move here. It's where it should be trying to go. Again, you've got overhead supply in that red box. That's the problem. I wanted to buy down here to get up into this. I don't want to buy in here. I wanted to buy down here to get up into it. I wanted to buy basically. We're back to not being able to draw again, TradingView. I wanted to buy these levels here to get up into this. I don't really want to execute along here because this is possible. So now I need to offer myself some form of reward to get up into here, not buying where I know buyers are stuck yesterday. Remember, buyers yesterday, this is where they got stuck. Point of control on the day is basically that New York open. We've not got acceptance above 63s so far in terms of volume. So rejecting 63s. VIX continues to stay under previous day low without us moving to previous day high. So just think about that. VIX continues to stay under previous day low without us moving to previous day high right now. Buyer on the tape down at 235 right now. And then under that, 205 and 200s. And again, you just look at the QQQ. If you're looking at the ETF, you can see the 200-day. We can't get through it. Google about to go red. It is about to go red. There you go. Google red on the day. Microsoft not too far behind. Nvidia not too far behind. So let's see. Back to the view up again on the SPY. So failing that supply again. That red block up there holding firm. It's why I didn't want to buy up here. We had to buy here for that move. Wasn't going to force my way in at the top. SPY back to view up. QQQ got a bit further to go to view up. NQ under its New York view up already. Still doing the dance. I'm not having another attempt long here. I'd rather just wait right now. Good closing the gap, going green again. Don't trust this for me. Don't trust anything right now. It's building liquidity to do a more violent move. The obvious one would be an upside move. The obvious move would be upside based on higher time frame, but it's shown an inability to get through that supply. So maybe that supply is just too tough. And maybe we're just going to roll over and search for lower prices if we can't get through it. So you can afford to wait here today. I've had a couple small attempts, trading tiny size here, by the way, folks. If it's not setting up for me on a bigger, higher time frame trend, I can't trade with size. So like I said, scalp mentality until it proves. It's definitely not proving anything. Flow zones are flat. We're inside the opening range. Your current range on the day is 75 points. You haven't got a lot of size to play with in terms of extremes on the opening range or in the initial balance. You just got to be patient. Hey. What was the day that you did trade this week, Peter? Yesterday. Yeah, it feels like an inside day at the moment. It doesn't feel like it's going to have the ability to go out. So look at VIX now turning back inside previous day low again. It's not what you want to see. So I'd say VIX versus 22s now is key. Reclaim 22s. More chop, more downside pressure in the market. Reject 22s, go back underneath previous day low, get back underneath current low of day. More upside pressure in this market. We expected this, all right? We expected crappy action today. We talked about it after yesterday. Oh, really, Peter? That's a shame. We caught that long on stream. I didn't realize you weren't here for it. Just had to wait for it. Unfortunately, Trump was, what, 50 minutes late? You had to wait and wait and wait and wait, and then it offered an amazing trade. Okay, SPY, VWAP. QQQ trying to get down to VWAP. Still holding range. This level here is still key. Right, so far this morning, think about, we've done this. We're still holding this for now. All the time it's holding this. This is achievable. Under this, this is possible. The flow zones are flat. You have no clear direction. We are inside the previous day's action. We are inside initial balance. We are inside. We're not inside Globex. That's a lie. We're outside of Globex. We're basing above London High. We're inside the opening range, though. Yeah, good for you. Stick to your rules. Important to stick to your rules. If you've got rules there, they're there to protect you. It's for a reason. Google trying to go red again, or has gone red again. Tesla 7.17% up. That thing's having a day. 305.25 now on Tesla. SPY under VWAP. QQQ not at its VWAP yet. SPY under VWAP. ES not at its VWAP yet. Coming back down towards it now. The chop continues here, folks. The chop continues. Hey, Bowden, you've not missed anything, don't worry. So sellers on the book up at 70 and 90. No buyer on the book. He was flashing down at 35. He's left the tape. Five-minute looks a mess. 15-minute looks a mess. We're just trading sideways. We're protecting point of control, which is basically your New York Open. Point of control on the session, 234. New York Open, basically 230s. Protecting those so far. Protecting Globex high so far. But cannot build that liquidity. Remember, a higher time frame will become easier if we build. If we're thinking about longs, we would need to build liquidity up here. We'd need to do the same as this. And this would be an easy trade. Until then, this is supply. This is trap buyers. They keep rejecting. All the time they keep rejecting. If we can't get through, we're open to a move to come and take these guys out. But momentum so far is upside. It's not downside yet. So you can't really be thinking about a short yet. Back to New York Open, back to London High here. Google starting to sell a little bit more aggressively now, 0.25% down. Nvidia not far away, Meta not far away, Microsoft not far away. They're about to close their gaps. Whether they find a bid on that gap fill close will be important there. If Microsoft, Meta, and Nvidia close the gap and find a bid, then we drift upside. If they're going to go red on the session, you know what happens. SPY starting to sell here. Lower time frame algo here on the SPY key. Can feel a tape starting to get a bit heavier here, folks. The tape is starting to get a bit heavier here. Here's your opening range low that we're drifting into. Having a small attempt at this short side just for a little bit of profit. And if we're going to get heavy under here, we can look for VWAP. If we're going to protect it, then it's just going to be a scalp at the orb. Tiny, tiny, tiny size. Like I said, see money, take money environment. Protecting the orb so far. If ES starts to let go of VWAP, though, I think there is a bigger move here to the downside to close the gap. Goog red, Microsoft red. Like I said, Meta, Microsoft, and Nvidia will be key. Now that they've closed the gap, do they find a bid on previous day close, or are they just going to let it all go? We are nothing more than inside opening range right now. Already scalped some out, tiny bit out into that orb, into 220s. Basically covered my costs on those first two break-even trades. That's it. So I'm green by nothing, but I'm green. So those break-even trades did cost me in terms of fees. Okay, here we go. VWAP here on ES, not too far away on the Qs. A lower time frame algo here on the Qs, absolutely key. VIX trading up to that 22s, like we said. If it reclaims 22s and goes upside, then we get downside pressure. If it rejects these 22s, then we're just going to keep trading sideways probably. Google and Nvidia starting to sell. Does Microsoft join in? Boom. Beautiful. Moving my stop to VWAP now, if it will let me. Ninja, if you will let me, thank you. All right, moving my stop. Knocked out there. Oh my God, Ninja, you make it hard when we do moves like that. All right, previous week close here. So here's the sell. I want to get back involved in this now because I just got knocked out there by a tick. Fantastic, Alex. You just cost yourself probably a big trade here. Previous week close here. If we stay heavy here, we go down to previous day close. That will close the gap. That would be an efficient market, remember. If we stay heavy here, we will close that gap. Here we go. Market going red. Nvidia, Meta, Google, and Microsoft all red. This is what I was talking about. If they don't find bids when they close the gap, and we go red, you know what will happen to the market. This is what we saw. All right, so understanding the Mag 7 is important. Could see them all trading back towards that gap. The only thing that was holding the market up was Tesla, and this is what you get. So have to see what the response is now. Do we get pops that start to fail versus VWAP versus the opening range? You know, how do we act now? It is going to be key. Can we get down towards 50s, 150s? That is going to be our target if we can start letting go here. It's a little bit jumpy here this morning. I want to see a bear flag build out. Sorry, I need to build this, don't I? I want to see something build out. Why? TradingView, do you do this? I want to see something build out versus like this or this for a trade down into here. If we start reclaiming this, you cannot be looking short. All right, if we start reclaiming these levels up here, you cannot be looking short. Remember, these days are built to chop you up. See money, take money, get your stops in and in the money once the trade starts working for you. Do not add into losers in this type of environment. It can range rotate. You'll be very upset if you keep adding size into a loser in this environment. So far stuck at the VWAP. VIX coming to backtest that 22s. It traded through 22s. Need to see this stay heavy, either VWAP or 22.22 or 22.30, somewhere around there. Previous week close here, key. All right, previous week close here is at 95. That's what we're absorbing off so far. There's your break of structure, starting to build that bear flag out. Would have liked a drive higher first, if I'm honest. Would have preferred that drive to be much, much higher first. Watching SPY for that gap fill as well, if it's going to get weak and go first. Previous week close, definitely key here. We're just absorbing around these 200s basically. Fairly extended away from flow zones and stuff right now, folks. Feels like SPY wants to go for a gap fill. VIX now 22.10s. Come on then, let's go for gap fill if you're going to do it. Well, I think ES is going to come into 84.50. That's the gap fill for the ES. And if it trades under that, it's got liquidity to aim for at 675. So you're looking at 684.50, 675 on the ES. Here's a continuation. Beautiful. We're going for gap fill, folks. That's what we're going for. Have to just wait and be patient today. Once the market started to roll, made it a little bit easier. So remember, see money, take money. Do not expect too much. Make sure you are paying yourself on the way. It's already shown you it wants to be a bit choppy today. SPY about to get to its gap fill right now. All right, SPY gap fill is 565s. It's almost traded into it. ES gap fill is 84.50. All right, we're almost there. Be very, very aware of that. If they're just going for a gap fill and they find a bid, so make sure you're paying yourself into the gap fill. Gap fill and NQ, if we're actually going to do it, is this dotted yellow line down here, 148. All right, but if it doesn't do it, it's because SPY finds a bid before we do. You got relative weakness in the S. It's only 0.05% up with 0.16% up on the NQ. So it can find a bid before we can. Keep flushing would be nice, yeah. I think like it wants to get down to 150 for gap fill. It's just whether it's going to do it or not. We also have to be respectful of where we found a bid earlier. We found a bid earlier here. And overnight we found a bid here and this guy here. So I'd love us to target these guys, but we'll see. So far, SPY finding a bid just in front of its gap fill so far on the SPY. I'd love a bigger push up to get smashed into, just so I know that there's actual sellers present here. So far, just drifting lower. Here we go. Here's the break. Looking for gap fill. Target one is gap fill into 150s if we can get it. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. And then beyond that, we're going to go 20s. Come on, baby. Into gap fill for me. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You can do it. 48s. We want 48s. SPY through its gap. ES through its gap. Looking good here. We look good. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. There's no reason for us to not get gap fill here. Come on. Nothing wrong with paying yourself. Boom. Beautiful. Even on an inside day, we get it, baby. We just had to be patient. Let's go. We're doing the dance on a Friday. We're making money on a Friday. All right, where are we going now, folks? Right here, value area low. All right, this is actually a bit lower than it should be, only because I couldn't see it. Actually, it should be right here. All right, so we might protect this level. If we don't protect this level, high time frame algo, value area low, it should still be in runners. We're going to come back down to Globex all the way down here, and then higher time frame demand. Let's go, baby. Let's go. So we're long bias this morning until it became clear and obvious. At what point did it become clear and obvious? When did we fail to break the highs? Had its chance to do it. Did it get through this? No. Did supply hold up? Yes. There's the rotation. There's the sell. Underview up, night. Okay? Have to be flexible, especially on inside days. Have to be flexible. You can take a partial here now if you want into 20s. This is value area low. The next level we're looking for is Globex low. The bottom side of this, 80s. And then we can think about 20,000s. Looking good here. You're very extended here, folks. So do not be surprised if you see like a big fast move back up. All right. Do not be surprised. So make sure you're paying yourself is what I'm saying. Here we go. So starting to see this reaction around value area low. It's not going to be surprising to see this pop back up. All right, it's done a big rotation here. You should be paying yourself some money. It doesn't have to hit every single target. Lots of you making money here with me. Love it, love it, love it. I will get back to chat and read it all in a bit because I can see some of you have asked some questions. Let's have a look. What is the wine color band? Looks like a very clear pivot rejection. Wine color. This one here, VWAP. I'm assuming you mean this one, VWAP. All right, nice play, folks. Make sure you're paying yourself. You can still hold runners. There's no breaker structure here, no change of character, but you have to hold. You have to pay yourself in this move. All right, we're cleaning up a lot of price action. We're coming into areas. Just look at the H1. We are coming into areas where we have found bids yesterday, this morning in Asia. There's the drift up, trap buyers, become sellers. We never reclaim this, so we sell back down. So your next target is here and then down here. It doesn't have to do it. Remember, this can just do this all day long, all right? Can do it all day long. The key for me was also the mag, watching the mag and watching the VIX. Once VIX got through 22s, it became a much easier trade. So initial balance now printed. You can see the IB extreme. If we're going to do a rotation, you know where we can go. So let's see who made money there. W's in chat. Jeff made money. Ash made money. Bowden, well played. Wanted to get in, but didn't want to pull the trigger. Wanted to get a better pullback. Hey, that's all right. It's good to play it, know what you're looking for and play it. Vince made money. Lucas, not a gun show. Yeah. Blowing out the smoke when it's hot. Greg M made money with me. Paul G, Myron. Hit my daily target way quicker than expected. Love it, Phenom. Richard, pop back up to my stop that I was trailing and I'm not re-entering this low. Winner, 1,374. Hey, boom, big money. Well done. Huge win after not trading yesterday. Nice work, John Dennis. Paid for my tip this morning now. Hey, got that 20 bucks in your pocket. Love it. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you. Go for Hill made money. Mark, Thumper, Steve C, Zach, Clint, Peter. Not comfortable with shorts, Mike, but you took it for a win. Good work. Leron with the win. Mr. Slim, Priska, Ken. Tyson, sorry about that, mate. Got lost in the chop early. Sorry to hear that. Missed my entry, didn't want to chase. Hey, John Lucan, that's good trading. Mindful matters with the W as well. Good trading. If you missed your entry, if there was no entry trigger for you and you don't want to trace, that is good trading. It's better to do that than chase in for a loser. Okay, much better to do what you're all doing. All right, so we are now back to PDC. If we stay heavy versus PDC, we can wash lower. If we reclaim PDC, we probably go for that move back up towards flow zones, back up towards VWAP. We have swept out a lot of liquidity. Remember, these guys here all got absolutely wrecked. So did this one here. The only thing left is here, which is sort of high time frame demand. So we need to be careful about our placement now. If we're going to see continuation, you'll need to look for like a two-leg sort of head and shoulder type thing. 1, 2, and a fail. And really you want to get under IB for that rotation or just some form of bear flag. Any reclaim of this, whoop, we can go straight back upside. It can be an inside day. Remember, we're still inside. Previous day low is all the way down here. Previous day high is all the way up here. We're not outside it. We're still inside. We can expect choppy action. So far, good rejection at PDC, but I'd like to see this drift up here and see how we act, but we will see. We will see what happens. Market all red now, other than Tesla and Apple. Amazon trying to get back to green. The rest of the market got absolutely hammered in that flush. Chris Thorne with the wind. Abe made 3K, lovely. Lucas, winner, holding runner. Wine color, red band with high profile note. Red band with high profile note. I don't know where you're looking. Red band. This? Flow zones? This is the only red band I see. Nothing else I see. Where point of control is. This is your point of control from yesterday. This is higher time frame supply. You mean the rectangle? That's just where buyers were stuck yesterday. Look, this is the highs from yesterday. This is where buyers tried to force. All right, we took the buy yesterday up into here. Buyers chased late. This was the buy here that they needed to break out. It failed. They get liquidated. So these buyers are stuck. That's what that red band is. Okay, good rejection of point of control, previous day close there. They will need a break of structure here to the downside, the shorts. They will need to get a new lower low here for them to be in the money. If they don't get a lower low, this is the type of area that they can get stuck in on the shorts. Thank you, Richard. So you're trapped between initial balance low and previous day close here. Shorts can get stuck here if they do not get a break of structure to the downside. There's some buying on the tape here. 814 lot at 110, if you believe it. I'm not sure I believe it. Not sure I believe it, mate. You haven't been there all day and suddenly you've got a massive, massive lot on. How about you pull that lot? What do you reckon? Yeah, you need a wrong chart thing. Sorry. It's hard for me to trade and teach and keep up with OBS. All right, so here we go. Let's see if this guy's real. Oh my God, he was real. He just got absolutely nailed. 800 orders just got absolutely fooked there. Unless he was a short covering an 800 lot. All right, into Globex lows we go then. Wow. Let's see how we act there. He was at 10s. Let's see if we reclaim that or not. He was at 10s. That was an 800 lot order on the book. And we just absolutely decimated him. In fact, in that last shove down, we did 1,400 orders there. We just slammed through 1,400 orders there. In towards Globex lows, that orange box. If we stay heavy now versus initial balance, we can think about that trend day, especially knowing that that 110 buy was there. If we go back upside, then I don't know what to say. I want to see break of structure lower here. Can we get through Globex? If we get through Globex, we can go previous day open, previous day low, 910s. Watching 20,000 before that, obviously, whole number. Yeah, 800 futures contracts. That was some serious size there. Serious size there. Think about how many 800 NQ contracts is in terms of monetary value. I can't do the maths on that, but it's millions and millions. Okay, into Globex. Globex now been swept. So we've taken out Asia low now. Next stop, I would say, 5-day moving average, 28. So 20,000, 20,028, 19,980. Those are the next stops I'd be looking for. If we reclaim initial balance, then we go into IB rotation. All the time we stay heavy versus that. Remember, initial balance low is where that massive order was who just got nailed. He got filled, Lucas. He got filled. If you look using Bookmap, you can see a huge red bubble. He got filled. He was real. And you can see it on the CVP. There's 809 orders there filled. On the SVP, there's 836 orders there filled. Yeah, 800 contracts. All right, Globex lows here. What a sell-off. So is anyone still in this? Any of you still holding for lower prices? You still look good. We rejected previous day close. That bear flag to previous day close. There's the rejection of staying outside of it. I'd be careful if we do this. But until then, you're good to hold. Ash, thank you, Alex. Up 3,000, calling it a day, keeping profits A. Great work, Ash. Have a great weekend, my friend. Just closed out, Peter. Don't blame you. Don't blame you. I'm out here as well at Globex. I'm kicking myself for not holding longer because this feels so heavy now. Tesla back under 300. That big squeeze out this morning. We need to see a retracement, though. Cannot be adding any more size in down here. Yeah, there you go, Paul. 800 contracts is 27 million. So either someone has covered their short with a $27 million order, or they just try to buy and are hoping that this bids back up. Look at the VIX, 2266, back into supply now for VIX. It's so much easier when the VIX plays bull. We said there was divergence there at the lows, and it didn't. The market did not want to move to previous day highs when we were at previous day low on the VIX. That was a clue. We turned back, we reclaimed 22s. Now we're up to 2263. VIX now, if it can pop 2276s, has a run all the way back up to 2360s if it wants to do it. But we are in supply here on the VIX, so would expect some retracement on this market coming soon. Yeah, that was a serious order on the books, folks. I didn't think he was real because it was so big, and every time we've seen an order that big recently, they've pulled it and spoofed it, but finally there was a real one. Remember, Globex lows here are at 80s. Reclaim that. We'd probably go and back test initial balance, which is 110s, 112s. New low of day looks like it's coming here, though. We are running out of targets. Coming into some big levels here. Previous day low, the next thing that we can aim for if we're going to stay heavy versus initial balance. I mean, that is an iceberg order. 800 lot, that's an iceberg order. But he was just passive. He was sat there. He was letting everyone know where he was. He wasn't scared to let everyone know where he was. All right, ES trading back towards initial balance. Yes, really getting close to that IB retest right now. That's what it's trying to do. If it reclaims that, then it's going to go PDC retest. We reclaim that, we're going VWAP. You know the rules. But until then, we stay short. So do we get a new bear flag breakdown here? I really need this to move up. I don't just want this to be breaking down underneath Globex because flow zones are so far away. Look how far away. But flow zones and IB in this level here is key. If we can sort of do a move up there, it'd be nice. If we keep rejecting Globex and it goes, it's going to go without me. If we get up here and reject, lovely. If we get up here and reclaim, squeeze. Hey, Marek, thank you very much, my friend. You and John, very, very kind. $32 million order. It's crazy, isn't it? This is what I've been saying recently. You think we struggle trading like, thousands of dollars, hundreds of bucks here and there. Think about having to put a $32 million order on the line to fulfill your client. And then let's say he wasn't covering. Let's just assume he's not a short covering. Let's just say he's now out of the money as a buyer. And what happens now if like Trump comes out and says, hey, I can't do a deal with China. I know yesterday I talked about an 80% deal, but we're more likely to be 300%. I can't imagine the stress of that much size. Like the stress of having that much size right now in the market. It must be so hard for these lot. Another thin structure area looking to be backfilled. Yeah, I mean, you can look at the 5 and the 15. This hour's got like another 15 minutes left. It's a strong hourly close down here at the moment. But yeah, you would like... So far, we're rejecting that initial balance. I've got caught monologuing here. I just got caught monologuing. That was a short right there. That was it. Back testing this. Support becomes resistance. That was a short there for a partial here and then a breakdown under. Missed it. Have to wait now. Yeah, it can come and fill up here if it really wants to. We go left. Where's the best structure? Here, but we've already done that move. That was the re-add. this might be a Riyadh. We have to time will tell now. I've missed it anyway. Got caught talking. We'd love a two-leg pullback. Two-leg pullbacks would be juicy. Get more buyers trapped in. No, it's all right. It's not anyone's fault other than mine. It's my fault. No one else's. Time to go. Have a good weekend, Peter. Yeah, lovely. There you go. 2 trading days for you this week, and you made money. So buyers under 262 is a 200 lot there now. And then another 50 lot at 20,050. Tesla reclaiming 300. Apple still a third of a percent up. Everything else red. Nvidia 1.4% down. Meta 0.58% down. Google just under 1% down. Amazon a third of a percent down. Microsoft just under 0.25% down. Nice work, folks. Hey, last two days have turned out pretty good for us, haven't they? Yesterday might have been the best one on stream we've ever had. That was planned out and it was a monster. Today we had to be flexible. We know it's an inside day, so we have to be flexible. H1's already done the damage. If we think about H1 right now, if I was going to do demand, it would be something like this on H1. Right, and then if we were going to refine it, it wouldn't even be refined that much on the 30-minute. This is where we broke out from yesterday. So we know if any buyer, remember yesterday, we bought here for this move. Any buyer who didn't get filled yesterday, where do you think they're sitting? They're sitting here looking to get filled for this move here and then this. So this might hold. It can easily hold for a full rotation back up if higher time frame demand wants to step in. Let's just think about this. This low created this high. What's this? This is all noise. Here's your strong swing low, and this is your swing high. This is all noise. If they want to bid this up to do this move, they absolutely can. When's this market weaker? When we take out the strong swing low, back test and reject it. This can absolutely hold, all right? Hopefully that makes sense to you all. You've got to understand the swing points on the higher time frame. We talked about it yesterday. We did a big lesson on it yesterday. If you didn't see it, you can go right to the close. If you want to, I think it was right in the last 10 minutes. If you want to learn more, do yourself a favor and do the course. It's down below. One-time fee. It will save you so much hard work in learning off complete and utter charlatans who trade on YouTube and make money from you all without ever teaching you. All right, so far downtrend continues. It will change if we create a left shoulder, not before a right shoulder, sorry. And you can join up here if it's going to hold, because it can just as easily trap. It can sweep and trap. So I'm just going to wait and see how we act now. Am I on the right chart? I am on the right chart for once. That's a good start. No worries, Paul. So we probably had the best trade of the day there. Inside bar, back to high time frame demand. We've probably had the best trade of the day. We've just swept Globex. Time to hit the surf. Nice. Where are you surfing today, Paul? $400 lot on the tape here again. 20,080. And then a 200 lot, 20,060. Oh my God. All I can think of. Nice. Well, be safe. Have a good surf. Yeah. Have a great surf. I'm wondering if these are big higher time frame buyers who couldn't get filled yesterday and they're looking for a continuation higher next week and they're positioning themselves for that. That's what I'm wondering. Just because of where we broke out from yesterday. I'd love to. I've never been to South Africa. I would love to. I would love to go and watch the box play as well. Lucas, I'm not happy with my bot right now. I'm not happy with the bot right now. I'm not happy with... it's the stops which are causing me problems with the bot. So some buying coming in here. They're coming back up, reclaiming initial balance. That PDC will be key. They reclaim that, they can go VWAP. Richard, I've completed 60% of the course. It's a great course, eh? Thank you, my friend. So we left those buyers down there. 400 lot at 80, 200 lot at 60. Both got left, not filled. Like I said, the H1 has done the damage. We swept everyone out. It has just come into where we found bids yesterday. There's a little light bulb in my brain just saying, hey, we bid up aggressively off that yesterday. If there were institutions who didn't get filled where we started taking buys yesterday, that's where they are now. If they want to absorb this, hold it for an inside day. If they're expecting big news next week, then they're going to have some huge size on. I think about that player, that 800 lot, he's already back in the money. He was at 110. He's already in the money now. I'm going to assume this is all the same player. So if he had 800 lot there, he's looking to add a little bit more into 80 and a little bit more into 60. He's going to be 1,400 lot full size. He's probably got some other orders stacked around. So 1,400 lot, probably with an average price of 100, looking for a rotation higher next week. So I'm going to remember that for next week, just to think, okay, if he was a buyer, not someone covering, that's where he's looking to hold. That's the main core of his position. If these 80s and 60s get filled, that is. But around the 100. So far, we are still in a trend down in the New York session. Take care, Richard. Have a great weekend. We have reclaimed the initial balance. If they want to do a squeeze to VWAP here, if they're going to do the IB play to VWAP here, they can. I would just be very careful because you've got PDC overhead and very, very clear level that we broke down from. This is very, very clear. I would wait for a reclaim of this before I'd even think about getting this rotation up to here. I know IB to here is very common. We talk about it all the time. And I know that we've swept and we're starting to do this, but I'd be very cautious of this level. You can see it's a massive level, this. Support becomes resistance. We've already rejected. Once we get through it, we turn it back into support. And it's looking like it's trying to trade up to it now. So this would be key. Higher time frame, we're still bullish. All right, just as a reminder, higher time frame, we are still bullish. The hourly is still bullish. The daily is still bullish. Amazon now green. Apple still green. Tesla green. Nvidia 1% down. Meta 0.25% down. Google 0.88% down. Microsoft 0.25% down. I would not think about this long unless it reclaims these levels that we're in and around now. Value area low for this session right now, I would say is 150s, 156s. Volume in here into 200s. Same as yesterday, really. Are they going to do that same move as they did yesterday? If we just wash down to find buyers to go all the way back up, that's the question. Ideally, we just go sideways for the rest of the day. These buyers can absorb the tape and we come to the market on Monday and, you know, we can think about if we're going to go higher. Yeah, I'm definitely not looking to short this after seeing the H1 do that again. H1 guides pretty much everything I do. Right, what's the H1 trend? Right, that could be a trap low into higher time frame demand. And this can happen next week if it wants. If it wants, doesn't have to. An easier short will be if we start breaking down for that rotation, and then we're going to have so much liquidity that we can use next week if we're going to do that. So either way, next week we're either going to get this or we're going to get this. So either way, we're going to have a lovely, lovely trade next week at some point. As long as we're here at the desk for it, we'll catch it. So far, rejecting PDC, rejecting those flow zones, rejecting that resistance area, back towards the initial balance now. This can be a two-leg. If they're going to go for continuation, your location's not ideal. 1, 2. If they get stuck, there's your bear flag with that kind of right shoulder for a liquidation break. But again, this is high time frame demand. You've got to be aware of that. This is where it gets tricky, where the structure lower time frame says it wants to go lower and the structure higher time frame says it wants to be absorbed. VIX is still trading at 22.57s. It still has a chance to break out here on the VIX. It is trying to do a 5-minute flag for a breakout on the VIX right now. Whether it can do it or not is another thing. ES is trading at its initial balance. We are trading at the initial balance. These are key areas. Either we do that inverse head and shoulder or we build out a 2-leg to go deeper. I have no bias right now. The book is empty, right? The book is empty other than those big participants. It's very, very thin. You've got a 69 lot at 100. You've got a 400 lot at 80. You've got a 200 lot at 60. You've got a seller, a 58 lot at 30. And then each side of all of that, you've got 5s and 10s. The book looks thin. We're not in alignment. All right. Lower time frame saying lower, higher time frame saying absorb to go higher. You are not in alignment right here. So like if I was going to draw this out, your higher time frame, your H1 looks something like this. What would be the high? This is where we are on the H1 right now. In towards here. This low created this high. So if you're trying to short here, you're hoping that we break down underneath demand, but you're trying to short in higher time frame demand. The long will be this. If you catch the long lower time frame, it would be on the turn of the H1 to reprice to go up here. This is when it gets tricky, timing these. Because if you think about the H1 here, right, this is your H1 swing. This low, this high, you're just in here. But this low created this high. All of this is noise. So you're trying to short into where? Into where the point of origin where we squeezed from. It's demand. This is what I mean about understanding higher time frames. Oh, come on, folks. I hate it when I check the stream and I see 68 of you have liked. Like, come on. Come on. Do me a favor. It doesn't cost you anything. I teach you. I call out what I'm looking for. I tell you when and why. The least you can do is hit that like button for me and help me grow the stream. This is why I never look at how many likes I've got on the stream. All right, still absorbing here the initial balance. There we go, almost at 100. Thank you, team. Thank you, team. That didn't take long, did it? I've just got to remind you all, it seems. There we go. Thanks, Go for Hill. All right, PDC coming up here on QQQ. We have reclaimed the initial balance. If they're going to do this squeeze, this is the key area. All right. This is key because of this and this. All right. So if they reclaim this, this will be the target. IB to here. If they reclaim that, we go upside. Really, I don't think we go all the way up today unless some big narrative changes today. Even though I think this is higher time frame demand and when they're absorbing it, I would prefer and like to see this just sort of go sideways with an inside bar for next week. It sets up a much easier trade. Hey, Ken, thank you so much, my friend. Very kind. All right, I'm going to use the bathroom here, folks, while we build out this liquidity. I will be right back. All right. Here we go, team. Still stuck at PDC here. Building out that liquidity. How long got to a new H1 bar here? Okay, this is key now. This is key now on this H1. We're at value area low of the day right here. Do we get acceptance for a squeeze back up to the VWAPs now? Book really, really thin. Really thin around here. Not many orders here. Big buyers lower. Yeah, I grew up in the UK. I only moved to Los Angeles 5 years ago. Yeah, maybe I'll sort that out, Bowden. Not a bad idea. So do they trigger this squeeze? Or do we get rejected here on old resistance? Do the higher time frame buyers take control here for a squeeze back up? Remember that last H1 was a big candle. You have a look at that last H1, a big old candle, wasn't it? Here's your value area low of current day. It can afford to drift up to here if it wants to before retesting this. If it reclaims this, it would do that move, but ideally it saves that for next week. We don't really want to see that happen today, because if that happens today, I will not be here for it. We've only got an hour left on stream. Not even convinced I will stay the whole hour for this. Amazon trying to get back red to green. Meta the same. Not too far away. Hey. They're trying to get a bit of a squeeze going. I'm just going to measure this out on a fib here from, let's go high of day to low of day. 50% would be into 170. The 61% would be into 95. Might as well call it 200s, which is where VWAP and lower time frame algo is. So let's see if they can get up there. That strong pivot and that breakdown this morning's up there as well. See if they can trade it up into here. I want to see if sellers come back in once we get up and around here or not. Or if they're going to go all the way up, the V shape, all the way up. You can see the pivot starting to take place. That inverse head and shoulders off. Oh, higher time frame demand, the blue box here, off this. Starting to see sort of this quasi play out. Can they get into here? Do sellers come back into here, or do we just go all the way up now after higher time frame buyers step in? See that big 800 lot at 110 looks pretty good now, doesn't he? Looks pretty safe right now. And he's probably annoyed the rest of his orders haven't been filled. So Amazon now gone green like we talked about. Meta now gone green like we talked about. They're all going to back test the PDCs where they failed from. ES coming back up as well. SPY coming back up. They're all about to test their VWAPs up here. Tesla with relative strength today. How far does this squeeze go? No real selling on the tape here. No real big orders. So do someone come in and market it? Or are we just going to drift? VWAP still pretty far away. PDC here on the SPY. $76, $90s. Bit of volume at 76 and 90s, but no one really on the book. So I wouldn't want to be a seller in this really, unless they prove themselves. I would not be surprised if they just drift this all the way upwards. Let's see how we act at VWAP. Apple green, Amazon green, Meta green, Tesla green, Microsoft red, Google red, Nvidia red. Microsoft's got the chance of going red to green. It's not too far away, about 0.12% down. VIX just trading at 22.25, midpoint of the range. Nothing to really execute here. Feels like they want to go for VWAP. So what it feels like to me. And it just depends if sellers come back in there or not. Like I said, I'm not convinced. The fact that we've gone to higher time frame demand and that much size came in, not convinced we see selling back up here again. But let's see. Because if it was those sellers who pushed it down this morning just to absorb it, to go back up, to get a cheaper price, wouldn't surprise me on a Friday. Let's see. Back into range now. Not too far away from VWAP like we talked about. Let's see if and how we act when we get up there. A bit of selling here into 75s, a few passive orders there, not huge size. Remember, there's an 800 lot who's already in this right now at 10s. Still being absorbed. VWAP still looks like the target. We've reclaimed initial balance. We've reclaimed PDC across the indexes. The usual move is from the initial balance to VWAP. Once we do that, if we reclaim that, then IB high isn't totally out the question. It would still be an inside day, even if we got all the way up there. You would expect like some sellers to come back in, but given what I've seen on the tape today, I'm not 100% convinced. Amazon now 0.25% up. Look at that big drive. So a failed auction so far underneath here. So when we see a failed auction and we return back inside, we expect to get to here. How we act there then becomes fairly key. Fairly key. This is a decent drive out. Take care, Jack. Hope you're good, mate. Hope the options have gone well for you. Not really a background. I almost took a job on it, but I didn't. I used to work in music before this. Still holding price up here very, very well. Yes, still finding a bid on PDC. Watching this closely. Is this the end? Is this the start of a new flush? Back down to flow zones we go. Watching PDC here. Tricky, tricky, tricky. ES starting to sell hard at PDC. Didn't quite make it to VWAP across the indexes. Would have liked to have seen this get to VWAP before I think about selling. Oh, they're coming in heavy here, man. The book's gone heavy, heavy, heavy. Something's got to be hitting the news. That is heavy, heavy, heavy. Whoa, the market selling there is big. Back down to where we absorbed that 800 lot at 110. We just absorbed right in front of him. I wonder if he just jumped back in there. That was huge selling on the book there. Trying to see if there was news. Just all absorbed at that 110. That same player, I'm going to assume, came and absorbed that again. Like I said, I want to see this trade around VWAP and see how we act there. I'm not thinking about anything else until that point. Not seeing any news. That felt heavy. If you look at Bookmap, you look at that move from the market orders that came in from 70 and they added 65, 50, 45, 40, 35. They were all market orders flushed right back down in. And they're here again. They're starting to try and attack again. Whoa. I mean, yeah, possibly. I mean, I don't know if anyone read that article from Unusual Wales about the insider trading that they've been seeing going on recently in the market before Trump talks. Came out a couple of days ago. Yeah, I saw that blast in India. That was like 20 minutes ago, though. Unless it's like just starting to get confirmed. That would be the Pakistan and India starting to build. This level here, key. If they reject this rotation, they can still hold all this, remember. We know that 110. Where's 110? Basically IB. That big lot is basically has been protecting IB. This can still just be a pullback in terms of structure, but it's more the book that I'm looking at, how they've just done that. This was market selling. It wasn't like a limit order. This was big market selling. You'll see like a flip on Delta when they do that, like really, really heavy, very, very quickly, rather than passive selling. 45 minutes left. I'm getting hungry here. Maybe I can get some cereal. You guys won't mind. We're okay. We can wait. Maybe I'm going to get some cereal here. There we go. No, I don't do Delta or anything like that on the course. I don't really use it that often. I just have it on Bookmap sometimes. Those orders at 75 and 50 just left the tape. Those buyers left the tape. Oh, Jay, it was good. I won the first game, 11-2. I lost the second game, 11-9. And the third game was 15-13. But I got heat stroke afterwards. I said to the guy I play with, I'm not playing at 2 o'clock in Los Angeles anymore. It's like way too hot. There's no shade on the court. I just absolutely got smoked. Okay. Key levels here. Still absorbing that higher time frame algo. Still at the flow zone. Still have VWAP as a target for them to squeeze to. I'm more interested if it can do this and then fail rather than this. It gives us more room if we're going to look at it. If they reclaim this anywhere in here, it's a long continuation. I really want them to save that for Friday. I do not want them to do that move too early. I was playing singles yesterday. It was a much better workout single. I love doubles. Doubles are good fun, but singles is like a really good workout. I need some arches in my shoes though. My right ankle is blown up. In LA, oh, there. All the courts around me are all outdoors. I live in like a private like community where when you live here, all the houses get to use like the courts and stuff. You have to book them. But yeah, they're all outdoors. They're so hot. It's way too hot. It wasn't even that hot. I'll have a look. It's getting warmer here, but let me have a look at the temp. Like today is highs of 82. In the next few weeks, it's going to be 90s. I can't play in that heat, man. It's too much for me. And I'm part Arab, and I still like get burnt. I don't know how like my Irish friends and English friends do it. Right, VWAP's coming. VWAP and golden zone. Want them to squeeze up there, and then we can see what's what. It felt like all that market buying, all of it's been absorbed. Yeah, Adam, I'm Lebanese. I get that, DK. My right ankle's so bad. I'm definitely not Jewish. It looks like they want to get to that liquidity at 75, 80, 85, 90. But so far not able to do it. SPY's still stuck at PDC. It can't get a close over PDC for the move to VWAP. QQQ is over PDC. We are at 50% pullback though. Maybe I'm being greedy wanting 61. I don't know. At the bottom of this shelf would be so nice. Like one squeeze into here and then this. And then we can go partial, main out, and then anything down here is like absolute bonus. Not doing it. It's too heavy. But that, just really low time frame. Even under a minute's fine. Depends on how you're using it and what you want to see. All I really use Bookmap for, I'm going to be honest, is to see like the market selling coming in there was massive, and there's a new order coming at 145 trying to slam it down. All I'm really interested in is the big orders. I want to see the big orders to act like magnets. That's all I'm ever really interested in. I don't really care much more than that. Like knowing things like where people are going on the tape and off the tape is important. Like seeing that 800 lot today is important. Knowing he's at 110. You'd like to target, oh, you want to sweep this and then up to VWAP. Yeah, I don't know. I think if we come down there, it's a problem, but we'll see. We'll see. I'd like them to just go up to VWAP before that point. All those orders at 70s and stuff just cleared as well. I feel like it's just going to be games for the rest of the day. I'm probably done here. Unless we get that drive up that fails, I'm probably done here. All the market's starting to go red now, other than Tesla and Apple. So the rest of the mag just all gone red again. We're still in front of the initial balance. We're in front of where that huge participant was earlier. We haven't tagged VWAP. We haven't tagged the 161. We are starting to feel a bit heavy here. Biggest order on the tape right now is down at 100. And he's not that big. All the big players have left. All the big players have left. I'm not convinced. Like I said, we had the low-hanging fruit. We took out Globex. The only thing left would be a previous day low. We have retraced 50%. That's the one thing I will say. Maybe I'm too greedy looking for that move into 200s. I don't know. Probably too greedy. Back to initial balance. Kind of kicking myself not in this short, but it didn't do what I wanted, so be it. It can still build out liquidity here. Definitely not getting short here, right in front of initial balance. VIX coming back up to PDC. How it acts here is going to be key. I'm sort of kicking myself a bit. Buyers failed to take out that high. That was probably a bit of a clue there. That might be it for the day, folks. That might be it for the day. At least we got one really good one. Big plans for the weekend. I haven't got much planned. I don't think. What am I doing this weekend? I know I'm doing something. I just can't think what it is. Oh, if I get lucky, I'm going to go to Moby for Circle. That'd be good. If we can get some guest list on that. Other than that, I don't think too much. Initial balance here again. Just choppy now. Choppy action now. Just truly inside. We are underneath those old value area lows though. Even today's value area low currently is at 150. Here's IB again. I want to get through this 5-minute bar and the next into the next 30-minute bar and 15-minute bar and see where we are as we open it up. And then I'll make a decision. I might get off early here, folks. I'm getting like a bit fidgety on a Friday. Made my money. I don't want to give back. Had a fantastic day yesterday. I can feel myself like looking for something right now that isn't there. So I'm trying to be like true to myself. Like it hasn't reached my target of the 61 fib. It hasn't come and back tested exactly where I want. So if I take a short here, I'm definitely forcing my way into the market. Anchor VWAP from FOMC. From the high or low? I didn't do that. Where's FOMC? Wednesday. From the low? This one? Oh, yeah. Good eyes. Good eyes, Martin B. Good eyes. Can I label that? Nope. Be good if you could label the anchors, wouldn't it? Boring, boring, boring. Let's talk about something so Alex doesn't do something stupid here. Otherwise, I'm going to force my way in. I can feel it. There's a part of me that's like just wants to full send it short, and that will get me in big trouble because we are not in a short right now. Did you take to full long yesterday? Take to full long. I longed all the way up to the 200-day yesterday. Yesterday's long. I was long, and I was adding in size. So I was long here, here, on the break of this, adding, hold a view up here. I'm not sure if I added up here or not, but then I was selling into this, and once we hit the 200-day moving average, I was out. That was my move yesterday. It was all on stream. Everyone called it on stream with me yesterday. We had a big, big day yesterday. Have I seen the show Industry? Oh, yeah. I love that show. It's a shame it's finished. Season 1 is so smutty. It's unbelievable. Some of the stuff that they do in that first season is wild. I think it's season 1. Can't remember the characters' names. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I won't ruin it for you. Yeah, I finished the whole thing. It's great. It's a great thing. Yeah, Bowden, shoot away, my friend. Okay, new 30-minute bar, new 5-minute bar, new 15-minute bar here. Back towards initial balance. I'm not convinced that this is a head and shoulder here versus IB. Honestly, I think we're just in a rotation day. So all the parts of me that want to hit short, I'm trying to ignore right now. I'm trying to ignore those parts right now because even on a lower time frame, this low created this high. This can be internal to go higher, and this is higher time frame demand. So every part of me that wants to slam this for this, I'm trying to ignore because it's not a setup. Even though I think it's trying to go there, I'm trying to ignore that part of me right now. But even if it goes there, it needs to go without me. It needs to do it without me if it goes there because it's not a setup. The setup was for a push to 161 and VWAP. It didn't do it. If we short here, we're in front of the initial balance. We're in front of the neckline. And we have not very much room after we've already swept Globex. The only thing could go for, which is far away, mind you, would be down here. So if this is the end of the pullback leg, why does it do this? Trading is so annoying. 1, 2. If this is a failure to break the high and we start getting this rotation, then maybe this. I'd love that move, but I don't know. I don't know, folks. It's going to do it, isn't it? It's going to have to do it without me. It's going to have to do it without me. I have to stick to my rules here. Unless we start building liquidity to fail IB low, I have to stick to my rules. ES is still holding initial balance low, but VIX is starting to try and get through PDC here. I keep finding myself being too cautious the day after a good day, and then I miss my entries. I'm good at dealing with losses, but it's weird. It's like a good day puts me back. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. It's because you're so worried about being overly greedy after having a big winning day. But what you need to ask yourself is, do you know your stats? If you know what setups you're good at, Bowden, you should just be taking those setups no matter what. All right, if that setup turns up 5 times a day, you take it 5 times a day. Turns up 0 times a day, you take it 0 times a day. You've got to kind of get into that mentality of, if your setup's there, you have to take it. I understand with like sizing down and being careful after a big win, but you've got to take it when it's there. Because if you don't, the problem that you're going to get into, if you don't take that trade when it's setting up after having a good day, so the next day it sets up and you don't take that trade, if you do that too many times in a row, what you're going to end up doing is chasing the trade. If you don't execute that trade when it needs to be executed, you end up chasing it, and that's when you'll give your money back. The other option, you could do something as simple as, when you've had a big winning day, take the next trading day off, relax, mentally reset, and come back fresh. It's the other thing you could do if it's like a bit of a groundhog day for you. But yeah, like you're all we are is gamblers. So if we're getting pocket aces and pocket jacks 2 days in a row, then you better play them, because the next day you're probably going to get a 3-4. Today I didn't think we'd get much, but we ended up getting not too bad. Back to initial balance again. Yeah, or like DK says, you can paper trade. Or you can do things like size down, build up your buffer on the day, earn the right to like start sizing in on that day. You always lose pocket aces. That means someone's got a royal flush next to you. You shouldn't be losing pocket aces. All right, still absorbing initial balance. This is what I'm saying. Have to not take these. Yeah, Bowden, what you're saying makes total sense. It's good that you're already cautious mentally. It's good that you're like, I'm not going to do something stupid after having a big day. But you've got to flip that around and be like, hey, if my setup's there, that's not doing something stupid. That's doing my job, right? That's doing your job. No worries, mate. Back to 40s we go. Value area low on the session right here, basically. That's what I'm saying. We're still protecting. We talked about it, didn't we? We are still protecting this. This low created this high. This can all be nonsense. This is high time frame demand. This is why I'm like, I must not think about a short here, because this is what happens. I know that's what my brain was telling me. It was like, get slam short, slam short, slam short. And then I would have just got absolutely wrecked. This is what I mean. I'm the same as you lot. I'm only human. How many times do I have to click draw for this thing to do it? That would be nice. If we don't do that and we do this, then shorts are going to get cooked. I really want this move next week, not this week. I want it next week. Maybe it's a lot. I mean, maybe. It's better for me just not to touch anything right now. Like, if it's a long to where, like, view up, and it's still not broken out, and I'm looking at the mag, and they're already, it's just, right now, it's a mess. It's a mess. So I'd rather have made my money. Look how easy, once this failed to break out, again, we always talk about this failed to make a new high, so longs didn't get paid. Then we rotate, then we liquidate. How much easier is this trade? This, messy. This, messy. Liquidation, nice. If they get a liquidation here, up to here or here, probably decent. I just don't want to trade chop. Like, just no. Like, there's your extremes on the previous day. Here's today's extremes. So this can be choppy. We've condensed it. This can be choppy. We're condensing it more down here in a range. This can be choppy. No. Alex does not trade chop well. He does not trade chop well, and he knows it. I'm not a range rotation trader. I'll do it on days where I think IB is going to do it. Today's not one of those days right now. I really don't know what this market wants to do on a Friday. We've had a huge move. You okay? We've had a huge move this week. We've hit all the targets, so no edge right now. Hey, 20 minutes and then I'm going to be out of here. Might be out of here sooner, to be honest, folks. I don't think this market is going to give us anything, which is fine. No worries, Lucas. Still trying to build. It's trying to get up to view up. It's trying to do it. ES is still stuck at PDC, though. Oh, we're still stuck at PDC. Okay, before I sign off, there are a few sales still happening for one more week. Traderfy still has its sale on 40% off for new customers, 30% off for all other customers. You can have up to 5 accounts. It doesn't matter if those are straight to funded, growth, advanced, or mixed. Whatever you like. My advice, growth accounts. Easiest accounts to pass, easiest accounts to manage. If you're a base hitter with a proven track record, you can look at the straight to funded. Otherwise, I do not advise you looking at straight to funded. Apex also has a sale on still, 80% off. Trade up to 20 accounts. I believe the 250 and 300 accounts are also on a mega sale right now. And take profit if you use my code FlowZone for take profit. I know it's not FCT, it's a different code. I don't know why they won't change it. If you use FlowZone at take profit, you will get 30% off discount for life, and you will not have to pay an activation fee. You can get daily withdrawals with take profit. I still have an order on the book at 100. We're coming back to the initial balance again. IB low again. No, I've heard her talk about that, but I don't know what groups she played in. I don't know who she was signed to either. Probably different music to me. I was a house music producer. I know who she is. I think she lives in like Hawley or something in West Sussex as well. I know that area very well. My family lived down there. But yeah, I don't know who she was signed to. Actually, my new single goes on pre-sale today, I think. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's the day? Yeah, I think it's today. Unless it's next week. Can't see it. Maybe it's next week. Maybe I got that wrong. All right, still building liquidity. All right, folks, I'm gonna go. I've got to go. Otherwise, I'm gonna do something silly, and I don't want to end my week doing something silly. The new single is called Pacific State. I don't think it's out yet. It's not out to the 6th of June, but I thought pre-order started today, but maybe it doesn't. Yeah, I can't see it anywhere yet. No song about trading. No. Yeah, remains range bound. All right, they're still protecting initial balance. If you're going to look at this afternoon, there's a couple of things you can think about. This is higher time frame demand. Remember, the H1's done the damage. We swept Globex low. We protected this level here. This level here is where we were participating as a buyer yesterday. This is a strong demand level. How do we know it's a strong demand level? Look at the reaction off this level. It's big, right? It's a big reaction off that level. It took us out of the range. So this is a pullback to strong demand. It's being absorbed so far. The question is, right, is there enough absorption here already to start doing this? Or do they need to sort of do a little trap in here before going up next week? I wouldn't mind that. If we close like this, or we do that sort of dip in and close here, I wouldn't mind that. I think that sets up a nice play for next week. The question that you've got to ask yourself is, how do you want to participate in this right now? Because you've had a good move. They're building liquidity versus IB, purple line. They're building this out here. If they keep protecting this, at some point the shorts are going to get exhausted and it's going to do that move up. You can think about a fib from where we broke down, right, and a return into golden zone. If you're going to sit here all day and you're going to look for that short, you want to see something like this. All right, you want to see sellers really step in and take control and get you back under the VWAP, and then you can think about then rotation and taking partials on the way down. If you're going to short here, you haven't got much to aim for. And that's the problem right now. We've gone from a nice big range. This wasn't too bad, and now we're starting to tighten. Right, so you're going to have to let this explode a little bit out, in my opinion. That's why I want to leave, because the temptation is to be here too long. If this just starts to rotate down to here and completes a cup, arguably you can think about this. But just remember, what's this? This is demand. So you've got to be careful, because if that big player steps in with his 800 lot again, we can do that. All right, so I wouldn't think about shorting right now. I wouldn't think about shorting in here. If I was going to look for a short, it would be somewhere up here, and it would need to roll over. I'm not guessing the top, because if this higher time frame demand holds and they've got everything that they want and they get up here and you're short against this, you're going to get blown up. They're just going to keep going higher. We don't put limit orders up hoping to get filled. All right, this is, momentum comes in. Imagine end of day and you got your limit order here, and we start drifting up and you get filled, and then some news breaks and it's positive news. what happens? You get wrecked, right? That's why we don't do that. You're going to need to wait for momentum to come back on your side if you're thinking about a short side move. Until then, just be chill. All right, you've made your money already. You made your money. Like lay up trades and then out of it. I'll see you all Monday. I haven't got an educational video planned for this weekend, but I'll have a think if there's something I can do. I still need to film some stuff for my new website. It's still not live, so maybe I'll do that. Please be safe, all right? Please, please, please. You've made some killer money with me the last few days. Just be safe now on Friday into close. Don't need to be giving back your week, forcing your way into the market. And we go again next week, all right? Mentally reset over the weekend. Think about, what do you need to do over the weekend? You need to go and do things away from the charts. Yes, it's fine to journal. It's fine to review your trades. But we are only trading to make money for some freedom. And if you're not going to use that freedom at the weekend to go and be with your loved ones, to go and do things that are important to you, to go and be healthy, then what are you doing it for? All right, you're just going to be a slave to these charts in front of you, and that is no way to live. All right, so please, please, please go and do something that makes you feel good. I will speak to you all Monday morning. Everyone in Discord, I'll pop in later. Peace out. Use hard stops.